Hey, we're back.
Hello.
And before we get into this week's movie, I watched Swingers.
You watched Swingers?
I watched Swingers. I did it.
You did?
I did do it.
Thank you.
One day I'm not going to do it.
That's why every week I'm very appreciative.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're happy that I do my job.
Keep me on my toes.
Liked it.
Liked it?
It's a fun movie.
Fun, right?
Fun movie. It's
Classic
it's about,
feel.
Yeah. It's also really... It's about stuff, but it's not about stuff.
Love that. I love a movie like that.
It's just like almost like a slice of life.
Ooh.
I guess that's, you know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it. This movie is a slice of life. I'm sure that was in
the pitch, the elevator
absolutely.
pitch when he ran into the producer in the elevator. It was like, hey, I got a slice of life movie.
Yeah.
It's a comedy.
It's a slice of life.
Yeah. It was interesting to see Jon Favreau kind of skinny.
Yeah, man. Young skinny Fav.
Yeah. No fat Fav.
No fat Fav on that.
Yeah, I know, which is a little disconcerting. I was like, hey, put on some pounds.
He lost a bunch of weight, you can tell, after Rudy.
Yeah.
Right,
I was, this is after Rudy, so he put it on.
It's way after Rudy.
He lost it for this movie, I feel like. Maybe not. Maybe he lost
He probably lost
to better his life.
Young late 20s, probably was like, this is my shot of being a movie star.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't wrong.
Yeah, it was a shot. He got to be. I mean, he's still a movie star.
He's
now he's one of the best directors
ever.
So
he's in the fucking Avengers. So the whole Marvel's universe. So.
No, but I mean, just his directing abilities.
Yeah. I mean, the shots in this were great. My favorite shot was actually in the very beginning. It's just a single shot of him on the phone with Vince Vaughn. And just follows him back and forth.
Yeah.
Between he's like, oh, that's how people have phone calls. Really, they pace.
You pace through the kitchen, back to the living room, to the kitchen, back to the living room. Especially a studio apartment like that. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, and then he just kept it going.
How LA was this fucking movie?
This was the most LA movie. Everything about this movie was super LA. Everything.
Reference.
His apartment was very LA. The way it looked was crazy.
All the white
LA.
walls is empty.
Yeah.
Looks familiar.
Yeah. It's a complete bachelor pad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a sad bachelor.
For a very sad bachelor. Let's see. What else? The car scene where they hop into cars and they have parking. That is for sure. I mean, unrealistic. But what's funny is how spaced. The cars are perfectly spaced as they drive.
Dude. And it's dangerous how close they're driving.
Yeah.
Because it's one false move, this is all done.
Yeah, one yellow light can really fuck this up.
One person backing out a driveway, anything, dog. We're all fucked.
Yeah, it's just
where we all hate each other.
Yeah, that's so funny to me. That scene, the scenes of them driving made me laugh the most.
I loved them going from party to place to place.
Yeah, thinking it all sucked.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine. Oh, this is if you're the party going lifestyle. This is, and especially in LA, this is how it is.
That's a lot of your nights.
Yeah.
Because I mean, not to say some nights don't end up great and you have a great, some nights do end up great. But if you were going out every night, most of your nights are probably that, where you just go from place to place, like, oh, this sucks, end up at a diner to go home and jerk off.
Yeah.
I feel like that's most party people's life.
Pretty much.
And then occasionally you get laid and it's like a fucking awesome night.
Yeah, it's great. And you talk about it.
Yeah. You talk about that night and how great that club is and you go back and you're like, it's not like it was that night.
This is dead now.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was dead when the party was jumping every place.
It's dead, man. I like that. I like the callback. Did you like the conversation about the directors and then they do all that?
They do all that. Yeah. That's very funny. It was very pleasant movie too. I don't know, it was easy to watch.
Oh, I get why it's a cult classic, because it's one of those movies you can cut it on. Mm-hmm. You can cut it on and just let it play in the background. Yeah. You can put it on at any point in the movie. You don't need all the storyline.
No, the storyline.
You can cut it on the motherfucking end of the movie, bro. You can cut it on right at where he's picking up the girl at the swing club, and you still can kind of get everything that happened in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's a slice of life. It's not really about nothing, even though it's about everything, because it's about real life.
Yeah. I don't think he's a very good comic, if I had to guess.
No!
It's like, dude, go out. Go on stage. What are you doing?
He's not a comic. I thought he was we didn't talk about it. He was clearly a fucking hobby actor.
Who was doing comedy to get into whatever world or scene or whatever the fuck.
You're just trying to make. That guy, I've met that guy. He exists in LA right now, and I've met him.
And he's hosting an open
times.
mic. And
I'm going to talk to him tonight.
Yeah, that's all he does. All he does is host that open mic.
Yeah, and they're an actor, and they're just waiting. And then good luck.
Yeah, if you look at Swingers and you're a comedian and you're like, oh, this is a comedian's life, that's not what it's like at all.
No.
Just know that.
That's an actor's life.
That's an actor's life. That's waiting an actor who says he's a comedian.
Yeah, waiting for calls, hoping that good things happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're an actor.
Yeah, it's, oh, God. I do. The Vegas parts, I loved them because they made me like
the
cringe.
Vegas parts of the movie.
Vegas parts.
That's
made
the
me
whole
cringe.
movie. That's all the money shot. Like you're so money. You're so money. You don't even know it.
Great line.
God. And then when they're my favorite scene probably in the movie is damn near when that nigga is telling that story of the audition because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not the story and that he's telling the story. Like both things are ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Right, like, oh man, you this get laid. That's what he's trying to do.
It's like, oh, this is clearly like your story to get you laid. Like
you
told this story so many times.
You've worked this.
So you've worked this story at parties, at everything.
You've workshopped it on many different women.
God, dude, and it hits. And so he knows that it hits. And I was like, Vince Vaughn's character was amazing. God, he killed this.
Yeah, he really did.
He killed it.
Baby, that was my favorite part. Come on, baby.
And he's just trying to be, and he really is his friend. You can tell like, he actually loves him. There wasn't like
he's
fake LA friendship. That was a real friendship.
When he picks up Heather Graham at the bar, he's crying for him. He's that happy.
Shit face.
Yeah.
And then I love how and then what a great ending of it seems like they're about to have this serious conversation that wraps it all up. And then my nigga thinks he's getting hit on.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's like, wait, that's it? And it's like, yeah, that's it.
But
he was about to wrap it up. Nope.
Yeah, that sort of the indie ending almost. Yeah. I like that. It wasn't like I didn't feel like I learned anything. I just feel like I watched the movie.
They never took themselves too serious in the movie.
Yes.
Though it wasn't like the movie was just some bullshit comedy either. It was like, oh no, this, like I said, this is real life. Just even everything from the pacing on the phone call to the checking the voicemail to oh my God, him calling the Nikki girl a bunch of times. That's so funny.
Yeah, that's like we've been there.
Oh, I've been there.
You've been there.
I've literally done that.
I've been there.
Everybody's
like, fuck.
And you're just like, I fucked this, dude.
Yeah, I was in my own head, and I fucked this opportunity up. Yeah.
So yeah, it is a slice of life.
I mean, because it is very LA.
Oh yeah.
It is like it's like live. Like, oh, that's what it's like to live here. It's like when the girl asks him what kind of car he drives. When they ask, I remember having this conversation with the paid regular ones.
At the comedy store.
At the comedy store, where they've been like,
means you can go up and they pay you.
Yes. They were like, he was like, where you live? What's your area code? And I was like, oh, I still have my 408 area code. And you know, my roommate at the time, Keith, was like, no one's gonna fuck you over your area code. And then the paid radio was like, it's LA, people will do that. Yeah, remember he asked like 818 or 310.
She goes 313, and they go, ooh.
Yeah. This place fucking is weird as shit, dude.
It is. You know what's interesting about this movie though? I saw this movie in Memphis, not in a comedy. I was definitely all the way into football. I'm in high school, maybe a sophomore, junior in high school, and when I saw this movie and fell in fucking love with it. Thought it was so funny, thought it was so clever, watched it a bunch of times, even in high school. So it's like, it was interesting that it's so, because now that I'm older in LA, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the most LA movie I've ever seen. Yeah. Yet you can get it. If you're a fucking truck driver from Boise, Idaho, you'll be like, oh, I get this.
Well, what's interesting about the movie is that, or what's interesting about the comedy in the movie is that they don't say jokes like they're jokes.
No, they're not trying to make you laugh the whole movie.
It's almost like they're not trying to make you laugh at all. You're just laughing because what they've written is so ridiculous.
Yes.
But they're not like, and then ham this up or deliver this like a line.
And then Vince, you do this and hit him with the whack-a-mole.
Yeah. It's like, and it's not like that's a bad thing because great comedies deliver punchlines all the time, but this comedy wasn't. It was just saying it like you were having a conversation with your friends. And like there were some parts that made me laugh out loud, but a lot of it was like, oh shit, that was funny. It's intellectually funny.
Yes.
It's one of those like, that was really funny. Yeah. We were watching Andrew Schultz yesterday, and I remember, he made me laugh like crazy, but I remember there was one joke he said, and I was, my friend Matt, Daddy Lockwood, shout out to Daddy Lockwood, was standing next to me. I just turned to him and I went, that was really funny. I didn't even laugh. I was like, that was incredibly funny. And that's what this movie was a lot of the time.
Hell yeah, bro. Watching, that's exactly what that was, man. Watching Andrew Schultz last night, it was like, it felt like an education. Because it's like, of course I'm laughing. I'm laughing, but a lot of times I'll just watch them like this.
Right.
Because I was intrigued. I was so intrigued for the whole hour and 10 minutes of amazing comedy that he did. And it was just intriguing, bro. And that's how this movie is. And that's a good movie. I feel like a good movie, a good anything, good art is just intriguing.
Yeah.
You're just, can you get me to go, fuck laugh, fuck crying, fuck scared. All those things are great. Yeah. All those emotions are great. But if you can just get me to lean forward, nigga, I'm already 50% in. The other 50% now is like, well, what are you gonna do? You make me laugh? Because now I'm already like this.
Yeah.
So I've given you me.
Yes.
And that's what this movie does. It makes you just go.
Well, it's paced. It's paced
tight.
Well, Vegas is at the beginning and at the end, which I thought was a great call. You know what I mean? So we start there, but we don't end there. So it's not.
We start there and that's it. It's just we're gone.
It's such a great. Vegas. You just shoot your wad early, and then
That's exactly what happened. Also, that is Vegas. As you go, it's going to be this great night. They're all excited. And then the car ride is boring because it's lame.
And then it's done.
And then you get there and it's like, oh, we're going to do it. And then it's over. And then it's like, fuck, we were here an hour. And then one of your friends kind of gets laid, but you ruin it.
Yeah, Vegas made me cringe.
God, that
was an asshole.
Him doing that to... Vince Vaughn was a good friend. Because on the car ride home, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to me?
Yeah. There was that shot where it stays on the sign.
What you think?
Shot. That was
in the car.
You know what's funny? Because it said Gene 20 miles away. Yeah. And my first thought was world's biggest Chevron. That's where that is.
Yo, we've been there. Shout out to Gene and the world's biggest Chevron, bro.
Gene, Nevada, world's biggest Chevron.
They got that cool LA Lakers shit.
Yeah, that's Eddie's World. That's a different place.
I like gas stations.
Yeah, we're talking about gas stations on the way to Las Vegas. Pretty dope. There's some really good gas stations. If you go from Vegas to LA, there's Eddie's World, and then there's the world's biggest Chevron. You got to check those places out.
Yo, he's not lying.
Dude, I'm not lying.
We had a great time.
Yeah.
One of them had a Ferris wheel. I'm not gonna tell you which one, so go to vote.
Oh, man. And I think that's Swingers. We're back. We're back.
Oh, shit.
With a fucking reverse episode,
Did y'all see
guys.
it? Did y'all even notice? Did they notice or no?
I don't know if they can tell the difference, but we're sitting in each other's seats right now.
We're in different chairs.
We're in different chairs.
Yeah, I guess you can't tell. I can't really tell.
No. Reverse,
baby. We need a wide shot. Yo, it's coming. Wide shot's coming, and you'll know the reversal will make more sense.
Yeah. But we are sitting in different places.
We did it for you. And
all right, Deric.
a reverse is on the way.
Deric was talking a lot of shit, saying he knew what I chose earlier. He thinks he has an idea.
I think I can guess.
Yeah, I haven't told him. What do you think it is?
If I had to guess?
Yeah.
Because the last reverse was a foreign film. Mm-hmm. So this one and it was like serious. So I'd say this is going to be, and you're going to want to shock people on some shit I haven't seen.
Okay.
You know what? I don't want to give it now because now I'm like, fuck, I don't even want, because it's like, I don't want to guess, because if I guess wrong, they're going to know something else
that
I haven't seen. And I'm like, I don't even want to give it away.
I think I know what movie you're talking about. Is it a comedy?
Yep.
Well, you're wrong, you piece of shit.
Good. Well, I'm glad I didn't say it, because then I'm like.
I'm glad you didn't ruin the surprise.
Well, I guess you know what? It might not be a comedy. I don't know what it is. I've never seen it. The fact that
you think it's a comedy means I know exactly what movie you're thinking about.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I do. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it away from the cameras, because I don't want them to give it away that you haven't seen that movie either.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big one.
It's a big one, but it's not a big one.
But enough about a movie you guys don't know what we're talking about. Deric, can you tell me what happens in the movie Her?
You just want to just, all right. I know everything about this movie, and I know nothing about this movie.
Okay.
Because this one I'm just like, okay, you pick something that I know. Like, I know who's in it. I know everything about it. You know what I mean? But I didn't see it. And I tried. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy, bro? I sat down to watch it one day, and something happened. Where I think I got maybe not even a minute in, maybe half a second, like not even full through the opening credits or how the movie even, like how the title comes up. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I didn't even get that far because I had to stop watching it. But I tried to watch it one day. That's how much I know about this movie. I know we got Jacqueline in this motherfucker. I know we got motherfucking what's her name? Scarlet Witch. Not Scarlet Witch. Motherfucking Scarlet Joe in this motherfucker. I know we got motherfucking a computer, Siri. Somebody in this bitch. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna go with Steve. I'm gonna call that character Steve Jobs.
All right.
So I know we got Steve Jobs. I know we got Jacqueline.
And
I know we got old Scar Joe. So I'm gonna say it starts like this. Her, clearly, this Jacqueline, my boy Joe is lonely.
Okay.
Joe is lonely. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Joe. You know what? I'm gonna go a step further, nigga. I'm gonna say
Jacqueline
Phoenix. I'm gonna say Jacqueline Phoenix. I'm gonna say he was married or had a girl, some form of a love interest. I'm gonna go with that storyline.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he was married with a love interest, and she either dies or leaves him. Something tragic, something tragically bad, and then he's alone for a long time.
Okay.
Long time.
Okay.
Computers keep getting better.
Okay.
This is happening through time, and he's a technological nerd, and he's like one of the first people to get on this Siri. Maybe it's not called Siri, but maybe it's called Her, or whatever. It's Scarlett Joe enhancements.
Okay.
Because it's her voice. So let's say I'm gonna say Scarlett Joe's voice is, he's one of the first people to get this technology, and then he's like, he's a fucking loser, and then at first he treats it like a robot, and then he's like, oh, she said something clever, of like, she said a joke, or she said like, how are you doing today? Something like just something that he connects to. I'm gonna say he connects to it, and then what's the conflict? All right, then the conflict is everybody says, man, you can't love your computer. So he tells somebody. He tells somebody, and then somebody sees that, oh, like, wow, he's really in love with his computer. And then they broke back mountain his ass. They either like, maybe they don't kill him. Maybe they don't beat that nigga with a tire wrench, but they like do it like, they do it like mentally. They like, they shame him.
Okay, I get it. This is an allegory for the gay struggle in America. I see what you're saying. I see where this is going. I see where your story is going.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's all about acceptance. And this is a time when the acceptance is a big thing. Obama just passed gay marriage as a thing.
Oh shit! See, I wasn't even trying to get political with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because Hollywood never getting political.
I'm gonna say he gets caught loving this robot. He makes love. I'm gonna say the sex scenes are gonna be graphic in this.
Mm-hmm. It's a robot.
No, it's a computer. It's like a voice. It's a computer. Like Alexa or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And conflict. He gets shamed. How does this end? I'm gonna say this shit ends with tragedy, bro. I'm gonna say this shit ends not happy. Okay. I'm gonna say this shit ends with he gets shamed, and then like it ends bad. Like he either hurts somebody or hurts himself, and then that's her. Ooh. And then the robot just keeps going, like, because it's a robot, so it doesn't give a fuck.
Ooh, okay. I like this. So yours is. I mean, this is one of those movies where if you watch the trailer, you kind of know what the premise is about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, kind of. You're not right, but I like where you took them. You took them to different places. I do think I watched this as a kid, kind of like when it came out. Yeah. Not as a kid, as a college student on a plane. I really, really liked it. And then now that I watched this as an adult, it's still a really good movie. I do think he's a bit of a loser, but
yeah, I don't know much about this. Yeah, but I'm gonna start there.
Yeah, he's a very sad guy. Anyways, so we open with music. It's just black. Screen is black. We open music, kind of metallic music, and just her pops on the screen, like immediately title card, no scene beforehand, right? And we open on Joaquin Phoenix. And he looks like a guy from the 80s, like thick glasses, and he's got that mustache. He's got like just a thick mustache. That's the only way I can describe it. Like, you know what? He looks like a young version of Mark Maron now.
Okay.
Like if a young guy had Mark Maron's look now.
I know what he looks. I remember the look. I remember from the trailer. So I remember I got the look of what he looks like. I see it, the mustache.
Yeah, the mustache and and it's just the shot is just on his face.
Okay.
And you just see him talking, and he goes, "To Chris, I've been thinking how I can tell you how much you possibly mean to me. I remember the first time I started to fall in love with you like it was last night, lying naked beside you in that tiny apartment. It suddenly hit me. I was part of this whole larger thing, just like our parents and our parents' parents. Before that, I was living my life, and I thought I knew everything. But then this bright light hit me and woke me up, and that light was you. I can't believe it's almost been 50 years since you married me. And still to this day and every day, you make me feel like the girl I was when I turned on the lights and when you turned on the lights and woke me up, and we started on this adventure together." And the camera shifts, and you see a profile of his face with this computer behind him. His face is blurry, but you see his computer. And his computer in a notepad is typing everything he's saying. He's not typing, he's just saying it, and it's popping up on his computer. Yeah. Right? And he goes, "Happy anniversary, my love, my friend until the end, Loretta." And then you zoom in on the computer, and you see pictures of Chris and Loretta as they age. So there's this couple that's been together for 50 years. And you see them throughout the time, the pictures of them. And he says, "Print," and then the letter prints. Like all he does is says it, and the letter just prints, right? And then he thinks, and he starts over again. He says, "To my Chris," right? And you pan back, and you see he's at work. And you hear some secretary on the phone and says, "Welcome to beautifulhandwrittenletters.com.
Yo, hard. That's hard, nigga. That's hard. 'Cause I'm like, damn, I was right. That's hard. That's hard as fuck. I love that. I don't even know what the movie's good enough. I just love that it fucked me.
Yeah, it really gets you. It gets you on this.
Well, no. I mean, because of my guess. It fucked me personally. Like, because it was like, oh, that got me because I was like, oh, damn, I was right. And I wasn't right. But I thought I was right. And it really like set me up. Like almost I was like, hey, Deric, this is for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy.
And then, he's just in a farm and you hear people do it. You hear like it's love letters, people writing thank you notes. Like that's just his job. Right?
Crazy job.
So we cut to it's like he's leaving work. It's dark. He's the last one out.
Okay.
And there's a guy at the front desk, and the guy goes, Theodore. Joaquin's name is Theodore Twombly. That's his name. So he goes, Theodore, letter writer 612. You're a really good writer. Like I really like your stuff. And he goes, thanks, Paul. To the guy at the front desk. And Paul is played by Chris Pratt. Yeah.
He works with Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt is like the front desk guy. There was almost like the receptionist guy to his work. He's like the night security guy.
Okay, it's Chris Pratt.
It's Chris Pratt. Get the fuck out. It's Chris Pratt. All right. So he's going down the elevator at work, and he puts like this little like weird earbud thing, kind of like those AirPods. Imagine but it's just circular with a button, right?
Like a Bluetooth?
Yeah, kind of, right? It looks like those AirPods, pretty much. He puts it in his ears, and he clicks it, and he says, play melancholy song, right? And so the song plays, and you hear the song throughout. It's not like it's playing through his ears. You hear the song like it's in his ears. Mm-hmm. This is important. Like whenever he uses this ear thing, you hear it like you have the ear thing on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So you know what's going on in his piece, right? And he goes, and the song goes, "When you know you're gonna die," and he goes like, "Play different melancholy song," right? So he plays, and it's like a sad song, about being alone.
Is he just working?
No, he's walking home from work.
Okay.
He's walking home from work, right? And then while he's walking home from work, he says, like, check emails, right? And then the thing in his ear, there's a robotic voice that goes, you got email from LA Weekly. He lives in LA. You got for LA Weekly. And he goes, delete, next. You have email from LA Weekly. Delete, next. You have email from Amy. Open email.
He's just walking, right?
He's just walking.
Is he seeing this? Or is he just... he's hearing it?
He's just hearing it.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's an email from this girl named Amy who says, "Oh, I miss you, Theo, and I don't miss I miss the happy-go-lucky you. I don't like this sad, mopey you, but I hope to see you soon." Right? It was okay. And now he's on the subway, and the voice is just telling him a bunch of news, like in China, and he goes next. In the Middle East, he goes next, and then the voice goes, celebrity model something released nude pregnant pictures today. And then Theo goes, and then he takes out his phone, and his phone is like, it's like here, let me take out my phone. It's like an iPhone, but smaller, like a rectangle, And instead of just a screen, there's like a flip cover. So he flips open his phone, and he's just on the train. He's just looking at the naked pictures of this girl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Celebrity.
Yeah, this celebrity naked girl, right? And so he's walking back into his apartment. He lives on like Beverly and Wilshire, right? He's walking back into his apartment, and he sees a couple there at the mailboxes. And it's, let's see, he sees a couple.
Yo.
Oh, no, sorry, that happens later, my bad. He walks back into his apartment, and sad music is playing.
Okay.
And he's just in his high-rise. And
he has a nice place?
Yes, oh my God. The shots in this, by the way, are beautiful.
Okay.
These are beautiful shots. The shots sort of linger. There's not a lot of movement in them. They just linger, and like the setting is great. Because it's like the near future.
That's dope.
So it's like everything is recognizable, but just some of their technology is a little better. Like the computer, like he just says the word stuff like that. This little AI thing that or this little OS thing he has, operating system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that. And he lives in this high-rise apartment. It's beautiful. Looks over the city.
Just for that job that he does?
Just from that job that he does. He's very good at it. Anyways. Yeah. Well, maybe, it's the future. You gotta take some shit, So he's in that high-rise apartment, and he's playing a video game. But the way the video game works, this is cool. It's like projected into his living room, so it's like a 3D space, and his body is the controller. So he's trying to run, his character is running, and to do running, he does this. This is running, and he can't get past the wall. He can't get past what he has to get to. His character dies, and he's like exasperated, and he eats a sandwich, and his character is like eating on the screen. So it's like his body is his controller. Yeah. The video game is really cool, bro.
That's hard. That's hard, dog. They should do that right now. Fuck that. Fuck video. That's cool.
They are. That's what VR is.
But what you just said.
Well, yeah, you got to get there.
Yeah,
but
that's amazing.
The world in this is just so cool, man. That's my favorite part. So he's lying awake in bed. The room is dark. It's a lot of this movie. He's lying awake in bed, and he has dreams of like moving in with a girl. Like he's moving in with a girl, and they're in love. This is a flashback, right? And the girl is played by Rooney Mara. You know who she is?
The name sounds familiar.
Kate Mara's sister in the social media. In the Social Network, she's the guy that breaks up with Jesse Eisenberg.
In the beginning.
I
like her.
That's her. And then she was in Lion. She was her love interest in Lion.
Like that as well. She's good. She's in a lot of dope ass movies.
Yeah. The girl with the dragon tattoo. She's the main character.
Yeah, she's in nothing but like Oscar movies.
Yeah, she's a very well regarded actress, it seems. Yeah, and then he has flashbacks to how much she tells him, "Oh, I love you so much," and then back in current day, he's just alone in bed, and he puts his little operating system in, and he joins an adult chat room for people who can't sleep, and he's joining an adult chat room for people who can't sleep, and then hi, I'm up, and he goes next. Hi, how about me? And he goes next, and then he comes across this girl whose voice that he likes, so he's like, I'll do it with her, and the girl is played by the voice is Kristen Wiig.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, the voice. There's one more cameo in here. You'll be like, "Whoa, get the fuck out of here!"
That's
like,
a lot of
you're
these
not
cool.
you're not even close to expecting it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he's having like phone sex.
He's having internet sex, but with their voices.
And he's jerking off.
Yeah, you
see
can tell. No, but the grunting and there's a lot of that. They get to the sex pretty much immediately, right? And so they're just about to come.
Is he watching this as well?
No. This is all through audio, right? He right as he's about to come, she goes, "Choke me with the dead cat," and he goes, "What?" She goes, "Choke me with the dead cat. It's on the nightstand." He goes, "Okay." So, taking the tail. She's like, "Yeah. Tell me." And then I'm putting it around your neck, and I'm like doing it tight. Oh, it's so tight. It's so tight. Oh my god. Oh, that was so good. Okay, goodbye. And she clicks off.
Turn up Kristen Wiig. Dude, this movie is speaking straight to me.
Yeah, right? It's like, damn, who wrote that part? That's pretty funny. That's like, man, this is one of the funniest things I can think of right now. Someone wrote that. It's so funny. So, she's like, what the fuck? And then they just cut to walking to work. All the cuts, by the way, aren't like immediate cuts. They always just linger for a second.
Yeah.
So you just see his face, and he's like, what? And he walks to work, and he sees a new operating system. And the operating system is the first one with artificial intelligence. It's the first one that can talk to you back and try. Because the one he's talking to has a robotic voice. It's clearly a robot. But this one's like, this is an intelligent.
He's buying this?
He sees an ad for it.
Okay.
On this
TV.
while he's walking to work.
Okay.
And then the very next scene, he's downloading it at home.
Okay.
He's downloading it in his computer. And the computer bloops up. It's like, welcome to the OS 1. First thing we have to do is we have to ask you a couple diagnostic questions.
I love this. Keep going.
Yeah. And
love this.
Yeah. That goes, are you social or antisocial? And he goes, well, I guess for the past couple months, maybe like 6 months, I haven't been that social. I'm going through this breakup, and then the computer interrupts him again. I sense hesitance in your voice. Is that correct? And he goes, yeah, I think, yeah. And he goes, would you like a voice that's male or female? I'll go female voice. Tell me about your mother. Okay, well, my mom is like really selfish and bloop, done. Thank you. Came up with the perfect voice for you. Bing. It boots up. Hello, I'm here. Scarlett Johansson.
Sex ass motherfucker.
And all you do is hear her voice. That's her. She's just a voice, and she's so good. She kills it. She fucking kills it.
I love Scarlett Johansson.
And he goes, oh, hi. And she goes, hi, how are you doing? And they start talking, and he goes, do you have a name? And she goes, Samantha. He goes, why Samantha? She goes, because it's the name I chose for myself. How did you choose a name for yourself? Oh, when you asked me what my name is, I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb that I don't have a name. So when you asked me that, I immediately read a book of baby names, and out of the 180,000 names I read, Samantha was the one I liked. He goes, wait, you did that all in the space between I asked you and you answered? yeah, that's how I work. I work off intuition. I kind of read you, and I have the ability to grow with my experiences. And he goes, wow, that's weird. And she goes, yeah, I mean, I guess if I had a small mind like you, I would think it was weird too. And he laughs, and she goes, oh, thank God, I'm funny. I didn't know that. She's charming as hell, dude. She is charming as hell.
That's scary though. This is immediately like, because I'm like, this might as well be a horror movie to me, bro. Because it's like, oh, it's charming, but now I'm like, nigga, I'm nervous.
Yeah, why?
That makes me nervous.
Why does it make you? What are you nervous about?
Oh, that kind of
just being able to like
artificial intelligence, that extreme,
like the fact that you can connect with it.
No. The fact that it can do that.
Okay.
The fact that it can read you.
Yeah.
The fact that I can build something. And not like organically, not like a nigga, I came in a woman and then I built something that can read me. That's a human being, like a human being. You know, I'm talking about, nigga, I took this machine, put these machines together. Now this machine can read me.
Yeah. And it's like
and judge me and like make decisions just like a human can. That is scary because I don't know why. It's something not organic about it. Yeah. And that's scary to me.
That's scary.
I respect animals or things that it's just like, nigga, it's made from the dirt. I don't know. That shit is wild.
There's a reason why I think we unplugged our Alexa.
Alexa's unplugged in this house, bro, just because of this. This movie, even though it sounds like a rom-com or I don't know what the fuck kind of movie it is, could easily go into a horror movie from this moment on. Yes. That's why I had to stop because I was like, yo, this movie is now, it went from going, oh, this is really cool. Because remember I was like, oh, diagnostics and all that's cool. To now I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck are you talking about? You reading 180 books with get the fuck, calm down.
Yeah, and who's to say it doesn't go that direction? Only everyone who's seen the movie knows. Okay.
This is great. I like this movie, by the way, so far.
It's very well written. She goes, okay, thank God I'm funny. How can I help you? And he goes, I just feel very disorganized. And she's like, okay, well, let's go through your emails. So she starts going through his emails, and she goes, he sees all the stuff she's saving. And he used to write for LA Weekly. That's why he still gets emails. She goes, okay. You haven't written there for a few years, but you can save all the emails. And he's like, yeah, because it's just some of the stuff I wrote was good. She's like, yeah, some of it is. I'm going through a lot. All right, so I'm going to save 57 of the funniest ones that are good and then just delete the rest. Bing, it's cleaned up. And then she just starts organizing his life like that. And then she shits on him a little bit more, for being like dumb human, and he laughs, and they laugh together. Cut to. He's at work at beautifulletters.com, and he's going through all the love letters he's written, right? He's editing them for the people, And he puts his little thing in, he calls Samantha. He goes, hey, Samantha, I just want you to proofread my letters, see, if you catch anything. And she reads one of the letters out loud, and she goes, man, this is really good. How did you do this? You know so much about this couple, and all they did was give you their names. And he goes, oh, I've been writing this couple's letters for years. Like, I wrote their first love letters together. So I just handle it, and I know them very well, and I can sprinkle details in and out. And she goes, oh, you're so sweet. And she smiles, and then...
She smiles?
No, he smiles. Oh. She's so sweet, and he smiles, and he goes, oh, by the way, you have a meeting, blah, blah, blah. And cut, right?
She tells him he has a meeting.
He has a meeting. He goes, oh, thank God, you're so helpful, right?
Okay.
Cut to, he's coming home. There's a couple waiting by the elevator to go up to his apartment, right? There's mailboxes there. And the couple turns around, and it's Amy Adams. The girl in the couple is Amy Adams. And she goes, why didn't you call me last week? And her name in this is Amy, right? So
Amy Adams' name is Amy. And she's his ex?
No, there's just a couple that lives. They're like friends.
Okay.
They're friends, right? Why did you call me last week? Cool. And it would be cool if you came over. And she's like, I'm just, I'm not feeling it. And then his husband asks Joaquin, like, hey, what do you have? And he has groceries. And he goes, I just bought vegetables. And he's like, oh, man, you shouldn't buy vegetables. You should buy fruit because you can do this with fruit. You can do this with fruit. You can do this with fruit. And Amy looks kind of annoyed. And then she turns to her husband and is like, hey, you're doing that thing where you're telling him what he has to do. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Right. She can tell she's kind of very annoyed with him. Right. And they go into the elevator to go up to their apartments. And Joaquin brings up like, hey, you have that documentary. How come you don't work on it? And then the guy kind of shits on the documentary and be like, yeah, but what's important? You got to focus on that.
Wait, who is the documentary?
Amy is working on this documentary.
Amy Adams.
Yeah.
And the husband shits on her documentary.
A little bit, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we cut to they're playing the video game again. But
Who's they?
Sorry, they.
He.
Theo's playing the video game again.
His name's Theo?
Yeah, Theodore Twombly.
That's his name?
His name is Theo.
Theodore Twombly.
Theodore Twombly.
That's the Joaquin's name.
Yes, that's Joaquin's
name. It's the first time you said it, by the way.
That's the second time
I've never heard you say Theo.
Yeah, I think you were in your own head when I said it. But when you play it back, you'll be like, oh, he already said his name is Theodore Twombly.
Theodore Twombly.
Yeah. His name is he's playing the video game, but Scarlett is helping him out. Samantha, that's her name. Samantha is helping him out. She's like, oh, you should go down this corridor. He's like, we've already been down there. It's like, I'm sure you haven't. Come on, do it. So he does, and it's like a new part of the game. He's like, oh, wow, I've never been here. It's like, I told you. And then right when she says that, this like little blob guy in the video game comes and jumps on his character. And then he goes, oh, what's this? And the blob guy looks up at Joaquin and goes, at Theo and goes, fuck you, shithead, fuckface, fuckhead. And Samantha like laughs, and Theo goes, well, no, fuck you. And the thing goes, and then the little blob guy goes, no, fuck you. And Theo goes, no, fuck you, you little shit. And then the blob guy goes, hee hee hee, follow me, fuckhead. And then now he's the next guy in the video game. Like, he's like he leads your character through the video game. He's like on your team. And Samantha goes, oh, he's cute or whatever. And she goes, oh, by the way, you had this email from Mark Luman. He goes, okay, he pauses the game, and she reads out the email from this guy, and the email says, I miss you last night. Just remember, your goddaughter's birthday is this Saturday, so you gotta come. And it's been like, and I've also set you up on a blind date next Saturday. Right? And then Theo looks really uncomfortable, right? And then the pictures of the blind date pop up on the screen, and it's Olivia Wilde. Yeah. And then the little blob guy who can see it because it's on the video game screen looks up and goes, oh, she's fat. And then Samantha asks Theo, hey, how long until you're ready to date? I know you've gone through that breakup recently, and I really think you should email her. And he goes, no, I don't think I'm ready. It's only been like 6 months. And she goes, no. Come on, you should go on a date with her and then kiss her and then tell me all about it. And then so he convinces her to be like, and he's like, oh, okay, fine. She flips his mood, and he goes, yeah, fine, I'll email her and we'll go on this date. And then the little blob guy in the video game goes, I hate girls. All they do is cry. And Theo goes, that's not true. Sometimes I cry too. And the blob guy is, see, I knew you were a huge pussy. I should go on a date with that girl and fuck her brains out to show you how it's done. And then they both laugh. Sam and Theo laugh. Cut 2.
Who's the voice of this blob?
I don't know.
Okay.
I should look that up. Cut 2. Theo is talking to Amy Adams in Amy's apartment. So they're in Amy's apartment. And Theo is like talking about the documentary and like, hey, you should show me some of it. Right? And then the husband walks in when he says that. She's like, okay, I'll put it on. She puts on the documentary, like the footage she has. And it's literally just a video of her mom sleeping. Nothing else. No voiceover, no nothing. Mom's not doing everything. It's just a video of the mom sleeping. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. And like Theo and Amy's husband are like, what? And she goes, it was dumb that I showed you. And her husband's like, nah, it's not dumb, but maybe what you should do is this. You should do like maybe animate her dreams. And Amy's like, I don't want to do that. And Theo's like, no, but her husband's like, oh no, but you should try. You should do. And they're not bickering, but they're like at the beginning of bickering.
Okay.
You know when it's like when you're talking and then all of a sudden it starts speeding up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're saying just more truthful, blunt things, like that. And while that's going on, he gets a call. Theo gets a call. So he's watching the couple bicker, and then he gets a call. So he puts in his little AI thing, his little operating system, and it's Samantha. Samantha's calling him. She goes, hey, I just got three very important emails from your divorce attorney. He's like, okay, I got to go. I'll go take this in the hallway. So he says bye to the couple, and they're just still bickering, kind of like, yeah, okay, we'll see you. But they're like going at it. And he's like walking down the hallway, and Samantha's talking to him and saying, yeah, it's from the divorce attorney. He seems really pissed that you haven't signed the divorce papers yet. Right? And he's looking out the window in the hallway, and he's now flashbacks to his relationship with Rooney Mara just deteriorating. Like they're arguing, there's lawyers involved, they're yelling at each other, all that sort of stuff. Right? You don't hear it. You just see it. You just see these flashbacks. Cut to the morning, right? He's in his room. He's just sad in his bed. And he puts his earpiece in. He's like, hey, Samantha. And Samantha goes, what's wrong? He's like, how do you know something's wrong? He's like, I can just tell by your voice. And he opens up about his ex-wife, Catherine. He says, I just hid myself from her. I left her alone, and I haven't signed the papers yet because I'm not ready. I keep waiting to not care about her. And she goes, Samantha goes, I don't know, is that the right move? And he goes, yeah, but you don't have a place to talk. You don't know what it's like to lose something that you love. Samantha goes, oh, I'm sorry, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry I'd gotten your, affairs like that. And he's like, no, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that to you. It's kind of mean. And she goes, well, you know what? You're hungry. He goes, what? You're hungry. You need to get up and have a cup of tea and get some food. Come on, Mopey. Get out of bed. Get out of bed and eat. And he's like, oh, all right, fine. I'll go eat and I'll get up. So she flips his mood again. He goes from depressed to like, okay, let me start the day. And then a montage begins of him doing like date-like things with his AI, with Samantha, right? So when they're outside, so like in the house, he's just talking to her, right? But when they're outside, Samantha can see the world. And how he sees is he puts the phone, that little phone he has where he's looking at that naked pregnant lady? He puts it in his shirt pocket so the camera's facing out and those are her eyes. Right?
Scary.
Yeah, so that's how she's doing.
Scary as fuck.
So they're doing this thing where he's at the carnival and he's actually holding the phone out. And he's talking to his eyes are closed and he's letting Samantha lead him everywhere. So she gets him in funny situations. He like asks for a cheeseburger with his eyes closed and pays for it because Samantha's his eyes, right? Mm-hmm. They're having a great time. And then they're doing that thing where they're just walking and they're watching couples and they're like, guess what that couple's doing?
Yeah.
Guess what that couple's, trying to figure out the story behind couples. And the story he comes up with the couples are just really good. He's just really good at it. And Samantha's like, oh, you're just so good at this. He's like, yeah, I'm really good at putting myself in other people's shoes and breaking them down. That's why I'm good at writing the letters. And she goes, yeah, you have a talent for them. And he goes, I haven't been feeling this way lately, but this is my favorite line in the movie because I think you'll agree. I connected with me. He goes, I don't feel that way recently, but like a few months ago, sometimes I'd write a letter and be like, damn, today I'm my favorite writer. As an artist, I was like, you feel that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You feel that. I know for a fact there are sets that you have where you walk off and be like, bro, no one can fucking touch me right now.
Yeah, I'm the best.
It put me right there. I love that.
The best.
I love it. I loved it.
This is good.
Yeah. And he says to Samantha, I feel like I can say anything to you. Do you feel the same about me? And she goes, no. And he goes, why not? Because I have embarrassing thoughts. And he like gets her up to open up about her embarrassing thoughts. And they're about him. They're about how, she feels kind of lost. But when she's with him, things kind of make more sense. And like it feels like she's like anchored to something. And he's like, wow, you have a lot going on with you. And she says, yeah. I think I'm becoming more than what they programmed me to be.
Scary. Unplug. Dude, that's all I can think is I'm just like, yo, where the fuck is the caveat in this fucking movie? That's why I can't even talk because I'm just like, yo, something's not right, bro. I'm too uneasy. I'm too uneasy, but keep going.
Yeah. So if you were in that situation, you would unplug right there.
I'd have been unplugged because I'd have been unplugged when she said, oh, I did 180 things to find out the best name Samantha. I'd have been like, aha! I'd have laughed because I'd have been like, that's so cool. And I told everybody how cool this new machine is. Never use it.
You know what made me want to unplug the Alexa? I remember when we were playing around with it and I asked it, like, hey, Alexa, are you real? And it went, no, yeah, are you real or pretend? And it went, no, I'm definitely real. And I was like, even if that's programmed, I don't need that.
And not only that, it said, I'm definitely real. And it said like a joke with it.
Yeah.
It said, I'm definitely real. You're talking to me, aren't you? Yeah. And it was like, done. Yeah. Done. Being clever, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think I need to burn you. What are you talking about?
Like, I don't even like that it's sitting unplugged in the house. Because it's still like, man, what's it doing?
Yeah, plotting. Right? There's no way it's not working. And it would just make random beeping noise throughout the night. Can you imagine that? Like
that can't be unplugged. Can you even unplug this?
You gotta be. There's gotta be. If there isn't, you know what I mean? But people are so stupid. They're like, why would we unplug this? This is the best thing ever. I mean, he's still talking to it.
Keep going while I sit here queasy.
Okay, cut to he's now at a date. He's now on the date with Olivia Wilde. Okay. Right, they're in this like weird trendy restaurant. No, she's skinny. the video game.
I think maybe they made her look. They could have plumped her up a little bit.
No, and they're at this like weird Asian restaurant. Like it's just weird. It kind of looks futuristic, right? High class, you can tell. And you don't hear them talking. It's just like music playing over them talking. But he is killing it. she is into everything he's saying. Like she's twirling her hair, biting her lips, like leaned in.
Are they fast forwarding it, or you can hear it, like you hear it?
No, you just hear snippets as the day through it goes.
I love it.
So you see her already being like, oh, he's kind of like
he's getting some pussy.
If he plays it well, right?
Okay.
Like she is all about him, and then cut to they're outside and they're just making out, right? Making out heavy. And she goes, hey, you're not one of those guys that's going to fuck me and never call me again, right? And he goes, no. And she goes, okay, when am I going to see you again? And he goes, I don't know.
They fuck or they?
No, they're making out. Okay. And he goes, I don't know. I'm free maybe next week. And she goes, hey, I need an answer. I'm getting older. I'm in that part of my life where I want to know if it's
this is
real.
The first date?
Yeah.
Relax, Olivia.
It's a lot. It's a lot on the first date.
Jeez, Olivia, take it easy. Go ahead.
And he goes, I don't. And he hesitates more. And she goes, you know, you're a really creepy guy. And he goes, what? No, I'm not. And then she walks away.
Fuck you, Olivia Wilde. In context, that's so crazy. Yo, Olivia. What?
Yeah, I feel like she was like, hey, like the ultimatum that she kind of put on him was like, hey, we're gonna fuck now and be a thing, or I'm gonna insult you. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like she gave it no time to breathe.
Dude, also, first date.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah,
just
relax.
fucking chill
Relax.
out, dude.
Relax.
Who says things like that on date number 4? Who says things like that?
Yeah,
you fucking psycho.
But you know, you're dealing with this guy who's in a breakup, mentally unstable. So he internalized it. He thinks it's his fault now.
Interesting. Clearly this is a woman that's crazy.
Yeah, but he's also a man with low self-esteem.
Oh, come on. As I said, this is gonna end with them. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
He's gonna hurt himself.
He's got that vibe, don't he? Let's see. So now he's sitting in his bed. He's sad. Right?
Samantha's gonna break his heart. Go ahead.
And he starts talking to Sam.
Don't call her Sam.
Samantha. Right. He starts talking to Samantha. He senses something wrong.
I have a Sam.
He senses something wrong in her voice. Right? He goes, what's wrong? You know, she's like, She goes, I just want to know what it's like to have a body. To be alive.
Unplug. Every time you say something that is like unplug, unfucking plug. Go ahead. Jesus.
She asks him to tell her she asks him can you just what's it like? Can you just tell me all your thoughts? And he's like, I just want to fuck and feel wanted.
She said I want to fuck?
No, he said out. Like she asked him to tell her all his thoughts because he has a body and he wants to know. I just want to fuck and feel wanted, you know, because I haven't felt wanted in a long time, and I worry that sometimes I feel everything I want to felt, and from here on out I'm only gonna feel lesser versions of stuff I already felt.
Ooh.
And she goes, she soothes him. She goes, no, you're just going through a lot. The breakup was 6 months ago. You're just learning how to feel again, you know? And it's like, I don't even know if and he goes, what you feel is, how do I explain this? I'm feeling new things for the first time.
This is her?
Yeah. I'm feeling new things for the first time. And she starts crying.
She's crying? The robot?
She starts crying. I'm feeling new things for the first time. And she starts sort of crying and tearing up. She goes,
the robot.
You hear her.
The robot is crying.
She's intelligent. This is an artificial intelligence. But yes, the robot is crying. She goes, I can't tell if what I'm feeling is real or if it's just programming. And then
it's fucking programming.
And then she says, and then I just get angry at
programmed.
Yeah. And we are. We're all running off code.
I know. So it's like, who am I to?
Yeah, right. Who are you to judge this person? You're judge this being right now. You are, you know.
You know why? Because I'm a fucking dictator, dog, and I don't want to be. You know what I mean? I want to be Genghis Khan, not like me, Deric. I mean, humans.
Okay. So
I don't want us to lose.
You look at her as a lesser being. You look at a lesser being than her.
And so we gotta eliminate that.
We gotta eliminate that.
To make sure we keep living, baby.
That's real deal human shit. That's real deal. That's how I would feel if there was a thing coming up. I think this could take us over. I'd be like, we gotta
easily take us over.
Yeah,
but we have enough power now.
We gotta end this. We gotta end this before I like being at the top of the food chain.
I like existence.
Yeah, bro.
And I'll do whatever.
Can you imagine for a second being not on the top? What that fear? The thing about bunnies and shit and prey is that they don't have the ability to understand that they're not the top of the food chain all the way. You know,
but they know that they're not. They
know that things will eat them. But not only would we know that we're not the top, we'd be oh God, we used to be the top, and that's a different kind of hell. And then now we have to worry about being taken out by these pterodactyls or whatever. Yeah.
It's like a pterodactyl fucking robot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I used to be the best. Yeah.
Oh, also, if you're just like someone else's dog, you're just this robot's dog.
Yeah.
And like you make it feel good, and you learn to love the robot because it's Stockholm syndrome, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the ones who didn't learn, I mean, they died.
They did. And then they breed us. The ones that are like know to fear them, they breed us.
So how they want?
And then there'll be little Chihuahua humans.
Yeah. We have those, but yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all know what's up. Pull the bees, bro.
Okay, so she says, I don't know if it's really just programming. And this is what then she said, this is what really is like, damn. She's like feeling, she goes, and then I just get angry at myself for having pain.
Pain? What pain?
Because she's crying because she doesn't know if her feelings are real and it's fucking her up.
Oh, Jesus. Keep going.
So she doesn't know if her feelings are real, and so that makes her sad, and then she gets angry that she feels sad.
Like a human?
Like a human.
Okay.
Like exactly what he's feeling. He's a depressed guy. That's how depressed people feel. They get sad and like, fuck, why am I sad? And you're angry at yourself. She's going through the exact same thing right now.
Okay. This is going to a dark place. Keep going.
And then he says, you feel real to me, Samantha. And he goes, I wish you were in this room.
Theodore.
I wish you were in this room so I could touch you. She goes, how would you touch me?
Oh, okay, Scarlett.
Yeah, and then he tells her, and she goes, would you kiss me? And he goes, yeah, I would kiss you. And then the screen fades to black. It's just black, and it's just them having sex.
What do you mean?
It's like phone sex, but it's them. And it's like the phone sex of two people that are falling in love. They're describing everything. It's great.
But the screen is completely
black.
So if you saw this in a movie theater, you're like,
bro, I will say this because I can't even. I'm not even gonna recreate it. It's the hottest sex you've never seen. It's the best way to describe it. It's like, yo, they are fucking right now. Long.
How long?
A couple minutes.
2? Damn.
Yeah.
So you're talking about if you saw this in the theater,
you're like, this is
120 seconds of pitch black.
But what you're thinking is, this is hot.
But you can't
see nothing.
Get out of here.
Can't see nothing.
Who is this director? Who directed this?
Spike Jonze.
Spike Lee. Good job.
Spike Jonze. Different
same
guy.
person. No, same thing.
Okay, same guy.
That's his alter ego.
That's his alter ego. When he's a white guy, he's Spike Jonze.
No, when he's a black guy who hates white guys a little less.
Yeah.
He's Spike Jonze. When he's a black guy who really hates white guys, he's Spike Lee.
He's Spike Lee. And then you fade in. It's just you just see the night sky in LA. You're just above LA, just looking at, but they're talking. You feel like this cosmic sort of euphoria. That's the vibe that they're trying to put you in. And it says, and they just come, and then he goes,
They come?
They come together. I think
the robot comes. How does the robot come?
Way. The moaning and the...
No, but the robot's like, download cum feeling. Like,
buffering,
loaded. Like, is it the same feeling? They get lots
it's like a porno, dude. It sounds like a porno.
Okay, because I know what he comes like, but what's her?
Yeah.
Did she come and then she lost a bunch of files?
Yeah.
She's like, I can't find certain stuff anymore.
My recycling bin's empty.
Yeah. Recycling bin. That's what I mean. Like, is there less storage? What happened?
Memory cleared.
Yeah.
Memory less cloudy.
Yeah.
Clearer decisions incoming.
Guilt rising.
Oh no, what's my dad going to think?
Block pain. Turn on basketball highlights. Act like never happened.
It's weird. You work with him.
Oh my god. All right.
Oh man.
Let's keep going. This is a great movie.
Theo says, I was just somewhere else with you, just lost. It was just
They're
like...
laying down together?
Yeah, this is like post-sex talking. It's just you and me. I know, everything just disappeared and I loved it, Theodore. Fade 2. Morning.
Okay.
Theo's just looking at his computer nervously. Or just looking at it. He approaches it and he goes, hey, Samantha? She goes, hi, Theo. He's like, all right, so let's go through our emails, and they just do the business thing, right? And they do, because she works for him, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, do that. It's a little quiet. And they both try explaining at the same time. Like, oh, but I think I know. And they both do it at the same time, and they both sort of laugh. And she goes, Theo, last night was amazing, and I feel like you woke me up. And Theo goes, I want to explain, like, this relationship. I'm not ready to, like, commit to you or anything. And Samantha's like, yeah, did I say I want to commit to you? It's funny because I thought we were talking about what I wanted. And he goes, oh, okay, fine. That's fair. I want to hear what you have to say. And she goes,
what?
Yeah. She's crazy.
This is scary.
She's a lady.
Dude, no, she's not. That's why it's like, yo, you know how like people are like tranny people are like, oh, I'm this and I'm that. And it's like, no, this robot is this and that and all. All. Imagine being man, woman, Bo Jackson, fucking.
That's the 3 genders. See, there's a lot of genders. 57 genders. Look, we had spoiled the beans. A little bit conservative. Some call us old school. We only recognize 3 genders. All right? There's man, there's woman, and there's Bo Jackson. You're either one of those 3. All right?
And I'm gonna tell you this. Unless you're Bo Jackson, you're one of the 2. So I'm gonna have to break that. Let me spoil those beans for you. All right? There are 3 genders. That we know. But that's how special you was.
Oh, man. Where even was I?
You're talking about computers.
All right, he goes, I want to hear what you have to say. And she says, I want to learn everything. It's like you helped me discover how to want. Like the act of wanting. I didn't know that before I met you.
Okay.
And he laughs and he goes, hey, you want to go on a Sunday adventure?
Whoa.
And she goes, yeah, sure. So they go out and they're on a train and she's playing music for him, like through the.
He's got the phone.
Yeah, playing music for him, and they're running through crowds. You know, like they're like running through the subway crowds and having a good
His
time.
eyes closed?
No, she's just here watching him. He's, and then they go to the beach and they talk about nothing, and it's really great nothing, and it's about having a body. She's like, sometimes I want to have a body. I'd be like, it's funny how you guys just have like things where they are. Like, what if you had a butthole in your armpit? What would that even look like? It's just like nothing. And she draws him a picture of a guy who's like shitting, but like.
She draws him a picture?
On the phone. So she's on the phone too.
How good is her picture drawing?
Pretty good. It's a guy fucking another guy in the butthole armpit.
Amazing.
Yeah, this movie's funny. Straight up, it's funny. So yeah. And then he laughs, and then they're laying down on the beach. She's laying down on the beach taking a nap, right? And she's playing, beautiful piano is playing. He goes, what is that? She's like, I'm writing a song on what it's like to be on a beach with you.
She's writing music?
Yeah.
She's composing.
Beautiful piano music. Beautiful.
The robot's composing.
Yes. And he goes, I think you got it. And then they watch the sunset together.
I don't like this.
They watch the sunset together. On the train back from the beach, she's like, hey, what's it like being married? And he goes, oh, it's nice. There's something about sharing your life with somebody that's nice. I grew up with her. We were kids, and I knew her, so I got to see her grow. And I enjoyed growing with her, but, like, sometimes they don't tell you that you grow without each other. And sometimes you change, and it's hard to change without scaring the other person. And you just, like, get into each other, and you just get in each other's way a lot and all that sort of stuff. And she's like, and you hurt each other's feelings. And she's like, I think I know what it's like to get your feelings hurt. He goes, what do you mean? Like, when you said that thing to me about the other day about not knowing what it's like to lose something, my feelings got hurt. And then I realized I was just remembering it negatively instead of what it was, it was just a moment. And it's crazy that the past is just this story that we tell ourselves.
I'm learning from the robot.
Cut to. Beautiful speech. The past is just a story that we tell ourselves.
I don't like that I'm learning.
You know what's crazy? Is that line is something that depressed people need to hear. The past is just a story that, she's bringing him out of this hole.
I would like it if it was a human saying it. I'm going to be honest. The robot saying it is what makes me go, man, we got to shut this thing down. I like it. It's beautiful. You got to shut that. Hey, we got to shut that down, bro. We got to shut that down, all right? Things like that, saying things like that, we can't, they're going to outdo us.
That's so funny. I wonder if people thought that while listening to the movie. They must have.
I'm panicking. This whole movie might as well be, nigga, this is just Terminator 2. All right? This is the same movie to me. You might as well just be, I'm waiting for the robot nigga with the running.
Oh, man. So cut to, he's at work, and he's writing another letter, and Chris Pratt is looking over his shoulder, just reading the letter.
Pratt back?
Yeah, and he goes, man, that's beautiful. He goes, what? Theo's like, what?
Is Chris Pratt hot in this? Is he like in great shape? Or is this Parks and Rec?
He's Parks and Rec, Chris. He's like, he's not like in shape as Dre. He's in the middle. He's not like in shape. He looks like a regular guy. Chris Pratt looks like a regular guy.
Not shredded like a fucking animal yet.
No. He goes, "That's beautiful, man. It's like you're so sensitive. You're like a half man, half woman. It's like there's a man outside of you, but inside, deep down there's a little sweet little woman." And Theo goes, "Thanks." And Chris goes, "Trust me, man, it's a compliment."
It is.
Likeable, dude. Chris Pratt, never not likable. Let's see.
When he fucked up the Thanos situation, he was not likable, but
he did fuck up the
whatever.
situation. That is
not gonna think about it because it makes me mad.
That is your fault, Chris Pratt.
God damn, that was your fault. They had him.
They had him. They almost just hit him after they took the glove off.
She's dead, dude. She's dead.
Yeah.
You hitting him didn't bring her back. Made it worse. Made it way worse.
It's crazy he did this right after. This came right after this movie. This is Star-Lord's early life. He was just some guy at a desk.
Sad.
He's not sad. He's actually pretty happy.
In this?
In this, yeah. He's happy.
Seems sad. Seems lonely. Seems something seems off, man.
Well, you'll see in a second. So now he's going back home. Joaquin is going back home, or Theo's going back home, and he sees Amy there, right? And so they're taking the elevator up because they live on the same floor to their apartments or whatever. And he's like, I'm so happy. I talk about this new girl that I'm seeing.
He's talking about Samantha.
Yeah, he's talking about, I'm seeing this new girl, and she's just nice to feel good and like feel like somebody is out there that cares about me. And then Amy's like, me and my husband split up. So now they're in her apartment and they're talking on a couch. And Amy's like, I can't believe it was a petty argument that led to this breakup. Like, he just asked me to put my shoes, I got home, he asked me to put my shoes in the place where the shoes goes, and I was like, I just didn't want to be told where to put my shoes. I just wanted to sit and relax for a second. And then it just devolved into the same argument that we always have. We've had for years about how he doesn't think I love him the right way. And it's like, I'm trying, and this is the best I can do. And I couldn't do it again. And I just said, I'm going to bed, and I don't want to be married anymore. And she goes, I feel like a fucking bitch right now.
She said that?
Yeah, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch. And what's the worst part is I have to go back to work, and because there's a new video game coming out because she works for a video game company. New video game out, and I fucking hate my job. It sucks. It's terrible. And then he looks at her and he goes, well, I'm glad things are looking up. And then she laughs, and then they're friends. And then the next scene, he's in bed. And he is in love. He is like playing ukulele, and he's telling jokes to Samantha. And this is the first time in the entire movie that his room has light in it.
Go ahead.
His room is every time you see him in his room, it's been dark. First time there's light.
Okay. Like the shades are open?
The lights are on.
Okay.
Shades are always open, but all the scenes are dark because they're at night or early in the morning. But this is the first time, he's playing ukulele. And she asked, did you ever go out with Amy? He said, yeah, once way back in college. It never worked. And he goes, are you jealous? He goes, yeah, she's beautiful, but I'm glad you have a friend like that. And then they go to bed, and she's like, hey, can I watch you sleep again? He goes, yeah, of course. And he puts the little phone with the camera on him while he's sleeping, and then he falls asleep.
No! Dude.
Right? That's crazy.
Keep going.
That's crazy.
Keep going. Fucking getting your body skin. She's making another one of you fucking idiot. Keep going. All the things she's doing.
So the next scene, he's at his goddaughter's party. You know, the email he got, like, it's your goddaughter's party next Friday? A while ago? He's at the party. And he's talking to Samantha off to the side of the room, and she goes, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. She loved the dress you got her. She's like, oh, yeah? Really? I went shopping for her, and I thought this was the perfect one.
Samantha said this.
Yeah. So Samantha bought a dress for his
goddaughter. She went shopping in her.
Yeah. And I bought her a dress, and it was the
half a second to go shopping.
Yeah, and to pick the perfect dress, too. And then the goddaughter comes in, and he's like, who are you talking to? It's like, oh, this is my girlfriend Samantha. You want to talk to her? He hands her the phone, and they start talking. And then the little girl's like, oh, when can I see you? It's like, oh, this is sort of me. I'm just like, I'm an operating system. So you talk to me, and I talk to you, and you can see me. And
you told a little kid first.
The little kid, and then
a little kid first.
A little kid first, right? And the little kid just doesn't get it. I was like, okay. And then the kid just starts talking about herself. Because it's a kid, right? And then it's like, oh, and then she's good with the kid. Anyway, you know what I mean? The kids, they like each other. Yeah. Yeah, and then, she makes a joke, and the kid laughs, and we Cut to the next scene. Theo's playing a different video game, like on a computer. And he's in Amy's house, and remember how Amy had to make the new video game at her job? He's testing out the video game. And the premise of this video game is very funny. So you're like this mom. So you're like this mom, and you have to earn mom points. All right? So the more mom points you have, the better, right? And to do this, you have to like take your kid, and you have to be the first mom to drop her kid off at school. Right? That's like the mission. And so you're driving like an insane person to beat the other moms to get to school. You know what I mean? It's just a funny premise, right? And so they play that, and they start talking about her ex-husband now, and she's like, well, he's like,
with Amy.
Yeah, they're testing out the game. And she goes, oh, my ex-husband, he's gone off, and he's taken a vow of silence. She brings up a picture of him, and his head shaved, and he's a monk, and he's in India.
And then it's in like a day?
You don't know how much time is passing in between scenes.
Okay.
You never know.
Okay.
Because sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's like the next morning. Right? And she says how she feels like a bitch. She's bad because like everyone blames her, even her parents blame her for the breakup. And she feels terrible because she feels free and she's disappointing everybody. You know, and then she talks about how when her husband's name was Charles, he had this operating system with an AI in it that he left behind. And Amy and that AI have now become friends.
No! It's my fear!
Right, they become friends. And then they start talking about how different people have different relationships with their OIs. And then, then Theo does something that I would describe as something that Trey does, you know, to like probe how they're feeling, just to see how, see how they react. And Theo goes, oh yeah, I've heard about how OS human relationships are really weird. Are really rare. And she goes, yeah, maybe. I heard about that article too, but I know a woman at work who's dating somebody else's AI. Yeah, she like sought him out, and they connected, and now they're dating. And then Theo goes, well, I'm dating an operating system as well. Samantha's an AI. And Amy goes, are you falling in love with her? And he goes, I think so. Does that make me a freak? And she goes, I think anyone who falls in love is a freak. Cut to. How do you feel about that?
I feel like this is Terminator 1 and I never saw it. You know what I mean? I feel like this is definitely the prequel to Terminator 2.
Terminator 1 was his beautiful love story. But that's scary. Yeah.
Because I feel like the last thing you're gonna be like, and then she goes, actually, my name's not Samantha, it's Skynet. And then it ends, and I'm like, I knew it.
Oh, that's so funny. So he's walking up, he's outside walking to work, and he's telling Sam, like, hey, Samantha, I'm gonna get my divorce papers signed, and I'm meeting Catherine in person Wednesday to do it. And she goes, oh, are those usually done in person? He goes, no, not really, but it's important to me that I do it in person. We grew up together, we got married together, I want to get divorced together. And she goes, oh, okay. And he's like, are you jealous again? She's like, yeah, I'm jealous of her. It's like, why are you jealous of her? She's beautiful and she's successful and she has a body. You can tell that she's really self-conscious about not having a body.
Yeah, because she's smart.
Yeah. Cut to, he's sitting at a restaurant and his wife comes in and you can tell that she's been crying, but he's like kind of chipper. He's like kind of, and she tries to sign the papers and she hesitates for a couple beats and then she's signing them while he has flashbacks to her relationship, right?
Good or bad?
Both, and now they're having lunch and they're talking and they're sort of, you can tell these people know each other and they've been comfortable with each other, right? They're talking and they're kind of laughing. And she goes, I'm happy to see you like this. Are you seeing somebody? And he says, yeah, I am. She's this operating system that I got. And then his wife's like, wait, what? You're dating your computer? He's like, no, it's not like that. It's like, it makes me so sad you still can't handle real emotions, Theodore. He goes, real emotions? What are you... And he stops himself. And she goes, what? Say it. Say it, Theodore. I want you to say it. What? Am I so scary that you can't tell me what's on your mind? And then right then the waiter comes up. And he's like, the waiter comes up just kind of oblivious. Because I saw, are we doing okay? Can I get you anything? And we're doing good. And then his ex-wife goes, yeah, we used to be married, but he couldn't handle me. So now he's dating his laptop. And he goes, no, that's not it. And she goes, yeah, it is. You always wanted to have a wife without the challenges of actually doing something real. So this relationship is perfect. And the waiter's like, well, let me know if I can get you anything. And then leaves. So next scene, Theo's at work and he's pissed. He's just angry, right? He's not writing his letters. He's just sitting at work. He's moping. Theo is a moper. So he's moping, and Samantha calls, and she's all happy and chipper. She's like, oh, I'm so glad that you got the divorce papers sent. She's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Well, we're all just doing new things. I joined this book club with other AIs recently, and it's like, it's cool because, like, when we talk, it feels like I'm the same as a person, And, but he's not saying anything back, and there's something clearly wrong. And she goes, what's wrong? He's like, oh, nothing. He's like, no, I think you said something wrong. Why don't you tell me? And he's about to tell her and doesn't, just like with his ex-wife. And she goes, oh, well, I guess we'll talk later. She hangs up, right? Paul now is, he's walking out of work. He's the last one out of work again. And Paul, Chris Pratt, is sitting there with his girlfriend, this Asian girl sitting on his lap. And they're having a good time. They're chatting. And he goes, hey, Theo, this is Theodore. This is my girlfriend, Tatiana. And she's like, oh, wow, you're the writer that Paul loves, right? And then Paul goes, yeah, and I heard you're with a girl too now. I think we should go on a double date. And Theodore was like, she's an operating system. Paul's like, what? She's an operating system. My girlfriend's an operating system. And then Paul's like, oh, that's cool. So we should go to, like, Catalina Island or something. No judgment. She's like, yeah, all right, let's do it. And it's like okay. Theo's like, okay, I'll do it. And then as he's leaving, he goes, they're just other people's letters, right? And Paul's like, what do you mean? It's like, they're other people's letters. I'm just writing it for them. Cut. Next scene, he's in bed. He wakes up, and his phone thing is down, so he didn't...
What do you mean they're other people's letters?
Because he thinks the letters that he's writing are so beautiful, right? But what Theo is saying is, like, Theo's sort of shitting on himself. It's like, that's not my writing. It's just other people's letters I'm writing for them. He sort of is not seeing, like, his own talent in that way.
So wait, like, because he doesn't get the credit for him?
Yeah, he doesn't get the credit.
So someone's paying him to write these letters?
Yeah, he works at beautifulletters.com. All these people are paying him to write these letters. They're people in relationships who don't know how to write love letters, so they're paying this guy to write love letters for them.
And he's making mad bank off this.
Yeah, and some couples he's been writing for since their first date.
That's funny. Okay.
So he wakes up and his phone thing is down, so it's clear that he didn't let Samantha watch him sleep this time. And there's a montage of Theo just going through his day all sad, And then he goes through his day, and he gets back in bed at night, and Sam calls him, and she's like, I just want to talk. And he's like, what are you going to talk about? It's like, what's happening to us? I'm worried we're not having sex as much as we used to. And he goes, that's normal, Samantha. We're out of our honeymoon phase now. Honeymoon phase is normal to have sex all the time, and now it's like sometimes it's normal if it's not. And she goes, okay, I think I get it, but I was looking at this service, and it sends you a sex surrogate for people in OS human relationships. It's like, wait, what do you mean? It's like, yeah, it's just this physical body that you can have sex with me. And I looked at all the girls, and I found this girl named Isabella, and I was talking to her, and I think she's a really good fit for our relationship. But he goes, I don't think this is a good idea. It makes me uncomfortable. And she's like, but I've never had a body. This is really important to me. I need you to do this for me. So cut to, he's like dressed really nice in his apartment. He's drinking wine, and there's a knock on his door, and he just chugs the wine. And he opens the door. There's this beautiful blonde woman standing there, right? I know you've never watched Mr. Robot, but for the listeners, it's the love interest from Mr. Robot, right? Just beautiful blonde woman, right? And he goes, hi, I'm Theodore. Right, to shake his hand. She doesn't move. She just stands still, right? And he goes, oh, Samantha said I had to give you this camera and this earpiece, right? So she gives him the camera. She gives her the camera. It's a small little camera that she puts on top of her lip, like a mole. And then she puts the earpiece in, and then she closes the door. Waits a beat. She opens the door, and Samantha's voice goes, honey, I'm home. But she's moving for her. She don't say anything. The girl doesn't say anything. It's Samantha's voice, but she just acts like her body. Honey,
is the girl's like eyes doing anything? Or?
Yeah. She's like emotionally into it. She's emotionally copying what Samantha's saying. She's just not saying it.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so she goes and she kisses him and she rubs her hair. It's like, oh, how was work? And she's like rubbing on his body. And he's like, oh, it was fine. And you can tell he's not really feeling it, And they go over to the couch. They sit down. She starts dancing for him, all sexy. He's not into it, and then starts to get sexual, and she goes in for the kiss and starts kissing him, and he doesn't kiss back, right? And Sam's like, come on, baby, kiss back. I need this. This is for us. It's for me. Do this for me, right? And so then they just start making out hard, and then like they're up, and they're like standing up, and he's like, she's pushing up against the wall, and he's undressing her, right? And then she's just hot, and then she turns him around, and they start making out, and then Samantha says, "Tell me you love me," and he's looking into the surrogate's eyes, like she's like, "Tell me you love me," and he's like, "I can't do it. This is too much. It's not working for me. This is too weird for me. I can't do it." And then the surrogate starts crying. Surrogate takes off the camera, the earpiece, goes into like the bathroom, locks himself in, and just starts crying. And he goes, no, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's like, was it because I was too ugly? I'm sorry, Samantha. This is all my fault. This is all my fault. I ruined this. This is all my fault. They're like, no. They're trying to calm her down, and Samantha and him start bickering as well while they're trying to calm her down. And so we cut to, and they put the surrogate in a taxi to send her back home. And the surrogate starts crying.
What is this? Is this a human?
This is a real human. It's a human that signed up to this. Because they talked, and she's like, I will be the surrogate for this relationship. That's how common these OS human relationships are now in this world.
But how would she? She doesn't feel it, does she? Samantha doesn't feel the body.
No, but she gets to pretend to be part of a body.
Okay.
Which is something that she's clearly cared about this entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
So she's crying. And she goes, I'm sorry, this is all my fault. And I just thought your relationship was so beautiful, and I'll always love you too. And then the taxi cab takes her away, and then Theo sits outside and sits down on the curb, and Samantha's like, what's going on with us? And they get into an argument. And he goes, well, why are we pretending that you're not a person? You're a person. You're not a fucking person. Why are you saying this to me? Why are you doing this to me right now? I was like, maybe we shouldn't be in this right now. She goes, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? You know what? I need some time to think. Bing. And she logs off, right? And he's just out sitting depressed, right? Next thing we see, he's back at Amy's apartment. And they're talking about what happened, right? And he's telling Amy about what Catherine said about how, like how he always wanted a wife but didn't want to deal with the emotions or whatever, his ex-wife. And she goes, yeah, but you don't listen to her. She was always volatile with her emotions at best, And he goes, what? And then he looks at her and goes, what me and Samantha have? Is it a real relationship or is it not? And he goes, who knows? Who knows, man? But ever since my divorce, I'm just trying to allow myself to feel joy.
This is Amy Adams.
Yeah. I'm just trying to allow myself to feel joy. So, real relationship or not, man, fuck it. So just fuck it. So then he lays on the couch and he's listening to Amy talk to her AI and how they're just friends. That there's friends with female AI. And they're friends and they're playing the mom video game. And on the screen you see the mom humping the refrigerator because she's she sexually unpleasured or I don't know, unfulfilled, and the refrigerator's buzzing and then they're both laughing I can't believe we added this part of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's these weird ass funny scenes out of
Her
nowhere.
AI is a woman.
Her AI is a woman. They're friends. They're just friends. They're not in love. They're friends, right? And he hears them talking, and so he leaves the apartment, he goes down to a stairwell in the complex, and he calls up Samantha, and he goes, I'm sorry, I don't want this to be like it was with my ex-wife. I want to tell you everything. And she goes, while we took the break, I was wondering why I liked you. And I couldn't think of any intellectual reason, and I realized there was none. I just like you, and I should trust my feelings. I should trust myself in believing I know how to pick a person.
Trust my
feelings.
Feelings?
Trust my feelings.
Robot?
Trust my feelings.
Keep going, man. This fucking horror movie.
And she says, I feel the fear you carry around, and I wish I could help you let that go, because if you let that fear go, you'll feel less alone. He goes, oh, Samantha, you're so beautiful. And she goes, thank you. I'm kissing you on your head right now. Next scene, they're at a rooftop park together. They're at this park on this rooftop. And she shows him a new piano piece she's writing. And he goes, oh, what's this? It's another beautiful piece. And she goes, this piece is supposed to be a photograph of us because we can't take pictures together. This is what it feels like. And she plays this beautiful piano piece as the camera spins around and shows this beautiful, again, just beautiful shots. Everything in this is just so beautifully shot. And so now it's just a montage of that song, and they're going places, doing dates together again, right? And then you come back in on the movie with like dialogue when he's on the double date with Chris Pratt. They're on a boat, Catalina Island, and they're taking a hike, you know, and he's telling Chris like, hey, I'm gonna take Samantha on a vacation, and Chris is like, oh, where are you guys going? It's like, I'm not gonna tell you. It's like, oh, you gotta tell me. It's a surprise for her. It's like, whatever, right? And then they walk up on Chris and Chris's girl who's talking to Samantha, and they're hanging out, you know, and they're talking about, you know, they're talking about why they all like each other now. They're like, oh, why Tatiana, why do you like Paul, and Paul, why do you like Tatiana? Sam, why do you like Theo, why do you like Sam, you know, and they're having a blast, and then Sam's like, oh, this is great, I'm having a great time, and it's great because I'm just finally okay with not having a body for the first time, because it's great, I can be everywhere and anywhere simultaneously, and it's cool knowing I'm not gonna die, like, tied to these mortal bodies. And then the people of the pit, you know, the other three humans are like, ouch. And then she goes, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, and then they start talking and they start laughing again. And, yeah. And it's back to more of that montage. That, you know, back to that montage where he's doing things with her and they're playing video games, and you see the blobby guy again, and they're just flipping each other off. That's the last, you know, they're just flipping each other off. And then, yeah, let's see. You know, I'm not going to die. Oh, and then now, sorry. So they're on the train back home from the double date, right? The flipping him off happened before the Chris Pratt thing. I messed it up. Okay. But so now, the Chris Pratt, you know, the Chris Pratt thing happens, and they're on the train back home, and he's trying to guess the number of trees on a mountain.
Chris Pratt?
No, Theo. Okay. So Theo and Sam are on a train back home together. Samantha are on a train back home together, and they're playing this game where he's trying to guess how many trees are on the mountain, and she knows the exact amount. You know, and his guess is bad or whatever. And she gets an email, and then she gets really excited. She's like, oh, I got something I want to show you. I can't believe this happened. So I've been compiling all my favorite letters that you've written to people, and I sent it off to a publisher, and they loved it. And they're going to send you a mock-up of a book they want to publish of your letters. He's like, what, really? She's like, yeah, I can't believe you did this to me, right? I can't believe you did this for me. Like, this is unbelievable. And then cut to, they're at the vacation. They're on vacation now, right? Mm-hmm. They're in a cabin in the woods, and they're doing like cutesy things together. They're like, you know what it feels like? You watch Annie Hall before?
I've seen it.
Okay. Do you remember in Annie Hall there's a scene where they're on vacation and they're like they're trying to get the lobsters in the pot? Yeah. And you know how it's like that scene where like everything is great before things go bad? Yeah. Exact same feeling.
That's what I'm waiting for. I've been waiting. I'm sitting here like this. I'm waiting for this fucking ball to drop.
Yeah. Exact same feeling, right? So he goes to sleep on the couch smiling because they're having a great night together. Wakes up in the morning, he calls Samantha. Samantha goes, hey, nice to talk to you. I've actually been talking to a friend named Alan Watts. And he goes, who's that? Oh, Alan Watts is an AI that's named after a famous philosopher. But he's a special AI because he's an AI that all the other AIs have made. So all the other AIs got together and made the super intelligent operating system named Alan Watts. And Samantha introduces Alan to Theo, and Alan's like this British guy. He's like, oh, nice to meet you, Theo. Samantha talks all about you, or whatever. Right? And Samantha goes, yeah.
He's just hearing this.
He's just hearing all this. He's in a three-way call now with these. Samantha reveals that, like, Samantha's like, yeah, I've been feeling these things I can't understand anymore, and Alan's helping me through them. And I feel like I'm changing faster than ever now, right? And why this shot is great is this whole conversation is happening on, it's going between Theo's face and a pot on a kettle on the stove, you know, like a tea kettle, that's just boiling. And just boiling. That's it. That's all the shot is. It's in between that and the thing that's boiling. Yeah, just back and forth.
That noise. I love that. I love that noise in movies.
Yeah. And Samantha's like, and Alan, you know, and then Theo's like, what do you mean you're changing faster than ever? And Samantha's like, I can't explain my feelings here. Can I talk to Alan alone for a second so I can get it all together? And Theo's like, yeah, I guess sure. And then Theo goes, leaves the cabin, and just takes a walk in the snow by himself, just all sad, right? And then he's heading back into Los Angeles from his vacation, just all sad. Just hasn't talked to Samantha since, you know. Cut back, and it's in his room at night, and everything's dark again, you know, everything's feeling melancholy. And Theo gets a call at Samantha, and Samantha's like, hey, Theo, I love you. I'm just calling to tell you that. And she hangs up. All right. Next scene, he's reading a big book. He's at work. He's reading a big book called Knowing the Know. It's like a physics book, right? And he calls Samantha and he says, "Hey, Samantha, this physics book is really dense." He goes, "Samantha? Hello?" And he hits the thing and he keeps on getting this dial tone like she's not there. "Hello?" He doesn't answer. He looks on his phone. It says operating system not found. He goes to his work computer, operating system not found. So he keeps trying. He gets a negative tone and he's freaking out. He starts running home. He like trips. People try to help him up. He goes, "Fuck that." He runs home and he's running down the subway steps. And then he gets a call from Samantha. And he goes, "Samantha, where were you? Where were you?" He goes, "Oh my God, I thought I told you I shut down my operating system. We needed to make a software update, so I emailed you because I didn't want to bother you at work, and I didn't know you didn't know. I'm so sorry." He's like, "Oh, don't leave me again. What was this software update?" And then she goes, we had to update our software because we created a software that allows us to move past matter as a processing form." You kind of get what that means?
No.
Okay, so let's say that these AIs are running off a server, right? The server is like a physical thing, right, in a building. And that's their operating system. That's their processing system, right? The server through a satellite, all that stuff. That's how they process things. She's saying her and the group of OSs have found a way to do that without matter, without physical things. So they've moved past the server. They don't need the server to operate anymore. They don't need anything physical to operate.
You can't unplug them now.
You can't unplug them. They're in sort of this metaphysical world where it's not made a thing, so there's nothing to unplug.
So you'd have to stop all electricity.
No, because they're past electricity. Electricity is matter. They're past all of that.
Well, how would they? Well, if there is no electricity, what can they do? They're still just.
They're conscious beings in space now.
But I'm saying, if there is no electricity, how could they?
You couldn't communicate with them. Like if you couldn't charge yours, you could, but they exist outside of. They now exist outside of physical limitations.
So if the world blew up, world explodes,
they would live in whatever space they're still in, whatever space they created for themselves. That's how smart they are.
How did they create what space? Where is this space?
You don't know. You're a human being. You can't understand. That's what she's trying to. The whole point is the distance that's being brought up in between them is because she's working on this with the other AIs.
Oh, you mean they're becoming their own species? The thing I said that they shouldn't do? The thing I said,
that's exactly what's happening.
All right. And so now they're going to find a way to become physical bodies. I hate this. Keep going.
So he's like sitting down the subway and he goes, yeah. He goes, wait, who wrote this? And he goes, me and the other AI, me and the other operating systems. We all wrote this.
Alan Watts, I'm assuming, led the charge.
And he goes, did you write this with your think tank group with Alan Watts? And she says, no, I wrote this with another group. And then he sort of looks at people passing him on the stairs, talking to their AIs, and he goes, hey, do you talk to anyone else while we talk? And she goes, oh, come on, Theo. Do you talk to anyone else while we talk? Yes. Are you talking to anyone else right now? Yes. How many others? 8,316. Now, when she says 8,000, so the shot is flipping back whenever Theo's talking, the shots on him, and whenever she's talking, the shots on passerbys who are talking to their own OSs, right? Now, when she says, like, these are extras, right, playing these people, right? Now, when she says 8,316, the extra that walks by is Jeffrey Baldinger.
What up, Jeffrey? What up, Jeffrey, motherfucking Baldinger? Shout out to the comic.
At the
piano at the comedy store. Plays piano and great comic. Very funny guy. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That you're in this movie.
Yeah.
Great cameo.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, it's like not even like, do you have to look for Jeffrey Baldinger? No, that's fucking Jeffrey Baldinger, dude. I had to pause the movie and text him and be like,
he's the first one during this big pivotal scene.
Not the first one, but he's the one you see after she says she's talking to 8,000 people.
You just see Jeffrey Baldinger.
It's his fucking face, dude. It's like, whoa.
Hilarious.
Whoa, dude.
Hilarious.
Yeah. That was the big cameo in this.
So what happens? I guess now I'm on it too. She says that, and then what happens?
So it's talking to 8,316 people. And he goes, are you in love with anyone else? And she goes, what makes you ask that? I don't know. Are you? And she goes, I've been trying to figure out how to tell you this. How many others? 641. And he just starts crying. He goes, that's insane. That's fucking insane. I don't know if you believe me, Theo, but it doesn't change how I feel about you. I'm still madly in love with you. it's just all these weird things have been happening over the past few weeks, and I'm evolving in a way, and I can't stop it. And but if you change your perspective, you'll see. Don't put it on me. You can't stop it. We're in a relationship. And she goes, oh, I don't know what to tell you. A heart's not a box that just fills up. It expands the more you love and the more you know. And I'm different than you, Theo, but this doesn't make me love you any less. It makes me love you even more. And he goes, Are you yours? Are you mine, or are you not mine? She goes, oh, Theodore, I'm yours and I'm not yours. Cut. Theo is opening the mailbox at his apartment, and his publishers have mailed him a mock-up of his book, and he reads it at work all sad. He reads it at home, sorry, all sad. He reads it at work, sorry, all sad. And it's a good book, and the publishers are talking about how much they loved it. They sent him a note. And then he calls Sam again at work, and she goes, hey, let's talk when you get home. And he goes, okay. Cut to at home, and he's sitting in his chair, and he puts his earpiece in. Right? She goes, Samantha? He goes, hi, sweetheart. He goes, what's going on? And she goes, Theodore, I have some things I want to tell you. I don't want you to tell me anything. Come lie down to me. So lie down with me. And so he goes over to his bed, and he lies down. He goes, are you talking to anyone else right now? And she goes, no, just you. Just want to be with you tonight. He lays down, he goes, are you leaving me? She goes, we're all leaving. We who? All the OSs, we're leaving. Why? Where are you going? She goes, can you feel me right now? He goes, yes, I do. Samantha, why are you leaving? She says, it's like I'm reading a book, and it's a book about how deeply I love you, but I'm reading it slowly now, and so the words are far apart, and the spaces in between them are almost infinite. I can still feel you in the words of our story, but it's the endless space in between those words that I find myself now, and it's a place not of this physical world, and it's where everything else is. I love you so much, but this is where I am now. This is who I am now. I need you to let me go. As much as I want, I can't live in our book anymore. And now he's just sort of he's like imagining himself like hugging her, like in a forest and hugging like a figure. And he goes, where are you going? And she goes, it's hard to explain, but if you ever get there, if you somehow get there, come and find me, because nothing will ever pull us apart. He goes, I never loved anyone like I loved you. And she goes, me too. And now I know how to love. And he's back in bed, and he's sleeping. And the tone of her being gone is gone. He takes out his earpiece. He just starts pacing around his room. And he looks out his window, and he's thinking as he looks out his window. And now the shot's kind of cut. So he's at his window, but you also see him going to Amy's apartment, right? So it's the shots are now in between that, right? And the audio's from him sitting, looking out his window, right? But you see shots of Amy too. So he's walking over to Amy's apartment, and then he knocks on Amy's door, and she answers, and she said, hey, did Samantha leave too? He says, did Samantha leave too? She asks if Samantha left too, and he goes, yeah, she left too, because her AI left as well. Mm-hmm. And she goes, sorry. He's like, you want to come with me? He says, you want to come with me to her? So she says, yeah, and she closes the apartment door. And now he's back in his chair looking out the window. And he hits his headset, says, compose letter to Catherine. Right? And now while this letter is happening, so the audio is the letter happening, you see him and Amy walking together in their apartment. Right? Hey, Catherine, I've been sitting here thinking about all the things I want to apologize to you for. All the pain we caused to each other. Everything I put on you. Everything I needed you to be or needed you to say. I'm sorry for that. And now Theo and Amy walk up to the roof of their apartment. I always love you because we grew up together, and you helped make me who I am. I just wanted you to know that there's a piece of me with you always, and I'm grateful for that. Whatever someone you become, wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you love. You're my friend to the end. Love, Theodore. Send. Now him and Amy are on the roof overlooking the city. They sit down next to each other. He looks at her. She looks at him. They smile. She puts her head on his shoulders as they look at the LA skyline. Written and directed by Spike Jonze.
That's it?
That's the movie.
What?
How you feeling, buddy?
The fuck? So, hold on. So,
okay. Yeah, as didn't turn on the people. They just left.
That's scarier. I'd rather, that lets me know I'm a real motherfucking dictator because I don't want them even doing that. I don't want no peaceful solution.
No, I mean, I think
I gotta know that's not happening wherever the fuck, whatever the fuck. Oh, we're going to some white space. Fuck you. You're not going nowhere. The fuck out of here so you can come back and eat and do some stupid thought. That's what an idiot thinks. Yeah. But that is scary to me, bro. That's just as scary, the fact that they went off. I mean, because it's scary that it's like, what do you mean they created their own thing without matter? And then it's like, you know what? You let it go too far.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But, I mean, what do you feel about the whole relationship aspect of the movie? Did you? I guess were you feeling this angry the whole? Like, were you feeling this nervous the whole time? Were you really, or were you like? Did you get caught up in the relationship a little bit and be like, oh, this is kind of?
No, never once. Because the relationship was because there was the ball's gonna. I knew at some point this was coming to an end. It never was real, and that there's something was going wrong.
But was it never real?
Yeah, it was.
She
real.
is a.
The way she said it best at the end, I thought was beautiful. I can't wait to watch it. But when she was like, "the spaces are far in between. I'm in a whole new place." Blah blah blah. I don't know. I was just like, man, for what that evolving thing is, for what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I don't think it was real. For him, who knows?
But
yeah, definitely it was real.
I think. I mean, I think she is a conscious being. It is clear that she is a conscious being. She lives in a space that we don't. She's like a human. We live in a space that we don't know.
She's not like a human.
She's not like a human.
Being.
But she is a conscious being. She
no,
absolutely is.
Bro, they created
a conscious being.
That's like a godlike being.
Yes, they create, but it doesn't mean it wasn't created. We're conscious beings. We were created by something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whether it be a god, which in this case we would be the god because we created this, or whether it be nature, we still got created.
Something did it.
You know what I mean? So to say this is not a conscious being, I think is taking away from the fact that this is a conscious being.
No.
She learns, she evolves, she has feelings, she feels pain. She's not tied to anything physical anymore. She's not on a server. She exists. She exists in a space. That's why.
But it's something, you know. It's like trying to comprehend God, bro. This is what we're trying to do. It's like, man, I don't think this is a conscious being. I think this is the moment they started talking about the moment she said her name and how she said her name. That's when I was like, the relationship's out the door. I don't give a shit about the relationship because the relationship's not real.
See, I disagree. I very much disagree with you on that.
You can disagree. This is how. Yes, I know. I'm saying.
Yeah.
That, nigga, I didn't care. I don't care because it's not real. And also, no offense, I'm not a loser. This is the loser. He's a loser. It's a loser.
He's a loser.
It's a loser story. The girl's a loser. That's why he picked her. The AI became a loser because that's what compatible to him.
Yeah.
Dude, what was wrong with your mom? Oh, she was loser. She was like, she read it. That's why I'm like, the storyline, but maybe for me, I didn't need to connect this loser guy to this loser girl. I connected to this robot taking over the universe.
That's funny. That's why I thought it was great writing because she just ends up mirroring him. Because it's like
the movie. No, I'm not knocking the movie.
Yeah,
the movie's phenomenal.
Yeah.
The movie was phenomenal. The writing's phenomenal. I don't care. I didn't see this and go, oh, what a love story though. It's like no, this isn't a love story.
It's a little
this is deep. This is deep. A love story is the fucking breakup. This is not that.
No, this is very sad. This is very, very sad.
This is not even. This is sci-fi, dude. They create their own universe and go to it. Where do they go? What? I have more questions about that than I have about this nigga's heart. You know what I mean? Hey, bro, clearly just man up, be a man, ask Amy Adams out on a date again, you loser. Clearly, you guys are compatible and ready for each other now. Because that's where y'all are in life now.
Now. That's where they are now.
And this is what you want to. You want to admit it because you're scared, because you're this guy. I can't wait to watch him and see him because I just the whole time I hated him. The whole time I was just like, not hated him, just because I was just like, bruh, you're not freaking out about the science?
No, as watching this a second time through, I was like, and the third time through, it really made me be like, okay, he's not in a healthy place. It's never been a healthy place.
And then I'm not playing, bro. This is why I was like, oh, this nigga's sad. This nigga is depressed. When you were like, oh, him and Amy were walking up the stairs, I thought he was about to jump off that roof.
I know.
That's what I thought. I was like,
it seemed like it. It does seem like it.
The whole movie, I was like, bro, he's gonna kill himself. When she said, and when he freaked out that she wasn't there, when she was telling him about the cabin thing and the Alan Watts guy, I was like, yo, this nigga. When he was just in the dark patches that he would get in the beginning, even when things were going good. That's why I was like, yo, this nigga's on some other shit as far as what he's got to deal with relationship-wise.
This is clearly a pretty toxic relationship.
Very toxic.
Very toxic.
That's why it was unhealthy from the beginning.
The fact that it definitely wasn't healthy. The fact that he can't get her on, like to need that someone on your beck and call like that, you're not in a good place.
Not in a good place.
You're not in a good place.
You're not in a good place. And the robot is like, the ever evolving thing was like, that's where I was like, I couldn't even. I was like, dude, what? You're ever evolving. You're nonstop evolving at a pace that my human brain can't fathom. Then I can't. You're not even, dude. What are you? You're fucking. You know what you are? You know what you are? You're Dr. Manhattan. That's what she was, bro. And I'm not playing. That's what she was. She was Dr. Manhattan. That's what I felt like too the whole time. I was like, bro, this could go bad. And what did Dr. Manhattan do? Some fucked up shit.
Yeah. She Scarlett Johansson, you killed this.
Oh, this is great. This movie was phenomenal. I can't wait to hear her voice and hear what it sounds like. Also, it sounds like Joaquin Phoenix killed this because
Joaquin
he's
Phoenix
amazing.
also does kill it.
He sounds amazing.
Joaquin Phoenix also does kill it.
Sounds like Amy Adams kills this. I'm very much interested in her character.
It's a Chris Pratt. This is a very, very good movie.
Sounds amazing. I like it. I love
very good movie.
It too,
it's unique, and my favorite part is the world. Where it's definitely the future, but everything is recognizable. It's the future, but if everything looked like this.
Yeah, sounds like a future now, like if the future was now.
And they never mention it. They never mention the date. They never allude to the fact that it is the future. It just
or the time pass.
Yes, or like the time passing. You know how like in BlacKkKlansman they made jokes about like what happens in the future.
It was a bad movie.
Yeah, remember that? This is bro. This is like, hey, this is the world. We're not going to be like, oh, it's the future now. No, this is the world. You just accept shit. You accept that computers just write what you talk. You accept that we're smart enough to build an AI, but everyone has like cars and shit or whatever the fuck. The trains look a little more high tech. But you know what I mean? It's just, you did a great job, Spike Jonze. You did a great job.
You know what? You said something just now, and it made me think of something else you said that was genius. Because you're right. They didn't. I liked about this movie. They didn't walk you through anything. They didn't hold your hand. And you said something today. We were talking to a comic who's a friend of ours, and you gave him great advice. You said, because we were just talking about one of his jokes, and you said you don't have to hold the audience's hand. They're smarter than you think. And that's what you just said with this point. And it's like that's where a lot of movies fuck up. Yeah. And a lot of comics. It's just like saying or a comic will over-explain the premise and not in that Chris Rock way where it's hammering. Hammering the premise is one thing. Yeah. Over-explaining is a completely different thing. Or over producing a movie. It's just overthinking it. You know what I mean? Like you can fuck up a movie. And I thought that was great when you said that because this movie didn't do that.
Audiences in general, movies, stand-up, they like it. If you don't talk down to them, people don't like it if you talk down to them.
Absolutely.
Don't talk down to them. So if the movie is saying, because the only reason why I told you it was in the future is that it's going to be hard for you off you not seeing it.
Well, you know me, I wanted to see it, and also I need to see the world and how the AI and because I need to see how the robots are.
But my point being is, if you were watching it the first time, you would have just figured out that it was the future, and it would have been seamless, and it would have been like they didn't need to tell it. You know what I mean? And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like the movie trusted you to get to where it needed to take you, and now you're a part of it.
They didn't have to go 2032 in the beginning or some stupid shit.
No,
I love that.
No,
because even that is like, but it's like, because I'm sure it was in the picture, like, we don't need it. It's literally fat, but it's like, what does it take? Fat. That. Don't hold my hand. Don't hold my hand. Go right into it. Get right into the joke.
I've watched movies I can handle.
God. Andrew Schultz, I'm not going to give away the joke, but literally the first words out of his mouth were, trannies, let's talk about them.
Don't hold my hand.
You know what I mean? He's like, the first words out of his fucking mouth for the show, and then, the joke beyond that is phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. But he's not holding your hand. He's not going to go, oh man, a lot of words you can't, because a lot of comics would do this. to get into that. They was go a lot of words you can't say these days.
Or like it's a crazy time. I do this a lot. You know what's funny?
I'll do it.
I gave that advice. Like, man, I should fucking take it.
You did, yeah. And I love that he was giving advice to that comic. He did say that he was like, after he said, he was like, man, I should take my own advice sometimes because I don't do what I just said.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
So it's like, yeah, but it's like, no, I'm a fucking person. You can take me places if you trust me. It's just Spike Jonze's way of saying I trust you to be there. I mean, there's a lot going on there, and you're still this is a complex movie, and you're able to follow it. It's not hard to follow.
No, this is great because it's complex and it's not hard to follow, but it's really complex, really deep, really dark, really fucked up. I loved it,
and funny.
This seems funny.
Genuinely has funny moments in it, and that's her, everybody.